Welcome to our building. We have worked on this building for a year and a half. This building was built in 1917, and the history is amazing because where I'm standing on this side was a candy shop. And the story goes that the owner of the candy shop, the front part, he sold candy and soda and different items. And in the back of the building, it was a speakeasy. So he would illegally have beer and wine brought in and invite people back there. So this building has a wonderful history that we are really excited to be part of. Let me tell you what we did to this building. The front was completely different. There were two doors, one on either side, and the windows were in the middle. So that's something pretty major that we did. We completely changed it by centering the doors, having double doors so people can enter in down the hallway. The floors that I'm standing on now are from a knitting mill in Olympia, Washington. And these are about 100 years old. We purchased them and didn't want to do a thing to them. We wanted to leave them as they are. We scrubbed them and put some linseed oil, but we didn't want to sand them and ruin years of patina. There's even some chewing gum that is hard to get up. So that's part of what we love to do, is bring in reclaimed materials, and felt like this was a wonderful way to show that off. The floors were just a concrete slab for years and years. There was lath and plaster all over the walls and no insulation behind them all those many years. So we pulled it all off, and we did our wiring and got everything up to code and insulated, and then sheetrocked everything back. So that was, that's what's behind all of this. And then we, as you can see, decided to do a board and batten paneling with fir panels, and a lot of the wood for the posts and beam material is reclaimed wood, also about 100 years old. We put these fireplaces in. There are two in this building, and we were able to do gas in here. The tile that we used is from a company in Ohio called Rookwood Tile. And that company was started over 100 years ago by a woman, which I particularly loved knowing that. And they have kept the original patterns for over the years. This one is one of their original designs, and we thought it would be appropriate, as the wallpaper border that we've put up is by Walter Crane, an artist, also the turn of the century. And the wilderness shall blossom as the rose is what it says, and we thought to incorporate these roses into the fireplace would be very appropriate. This building took us 18 months to work on, and many people asked, why is it taking so long? What are you doing? And all I could say is, just wait until you come and see it, and you'll understand. We had to we kept all the walls the same. We didn't bump up or anything. We have 12-foot ceilings to work with, but we basically gutted the entire interior. We had to take all the lath and plaster down. There was conduit running on top of all the walls here, and we knew in order to do it right and get it in working order and meet all of the code requirements that we needed to do some pretty major work. There was not even gas. There was not a gas line to this building. So it had been heated for many years with an oil tank. So even that was something that we had to have done. We started the building, started doing demo in June of 2011, and worked pretty much day and night. We had people come in and do a lot of the demo for us. I think the last count was 12 large dumpsters full that was hauled out of here. And then we had to rough in plumbing. There wasn't, we had to jackhammer back there in the back to accommodate plumbing, electrical. I remember coming in here one day and just being flabbergasted by all the wires hanging everywhere, and just so impressed with the knowledge of our electricians and how they could figure out which wire went where. And you know, everyone coming in here sees this beautiful building, and the craftsmanship is something that I'm so proud of with the team that we have. But what is behind these walls is really quite amazing. Things that most people don't get to see, and yet when I think about all the work that went into this, and just phenomenal amount of work and knowledge that was put into this. After all of the rough-in work and the insulation and the drywall, then of course it got to be a lot of fun for me, because I was able to design with colors and paneling and stain color, mixing 3 parts to 1 stain so we could match the lion border, and just it's just been so much fun to do this and to try to recreate that time period. We certainly were not trying to restore this particular building to what it would have been originally, because it wouldn't have been this. It was much more industrial. But to be able to have people, when they enter the front doors, to be able to feel like they've stepped back in time and feel like they've entered 1917. And that's what our goal has been. So every room throughout this building has a, somewhat of a theme and a little bit of our personality put into it. But we have stayed true to the period, and with our lighting, and certainly the board and batten, and 8-inch baseboards, and all of the other materials that are put into it. I tell people when I've given them the tour that the most modern room in this building is our 1930s Art Deco bathroom, and everything else is very very early 1900s.